Let's talk about Sapphic romances. I don't know about you, but I haven't found yet a Sapphic romance that I really love. Most of the time they are just okay for me, and I really want to enjoy Sapphic romances. And I feel like when I read them, something is missing, something is lacking, and that's not the case when I'm reading like straight romances. And it's not the fact that a man is lacking in the story, not at all. But I feel like sometimes it lacks passion or like desire, and it's quite a soft romances, but I would like a little bit more into the relationship. So yeah, today I'm gonna talk about 10 Sapphic romances, 5 contemporary and 5 romantasy, and I hope at least one of those will give me what I want from a Sapphic romance. So let's start. The first one I'm gonna talk about is The View from the Top by Rachel Lacey. So in this one you follow Emily, who's an artist, and she works at her grandmother's inn in a small town in Vermont. And you follow also Diana, who wants to be the CEO of her family hotel chain, but for that she has to do like one final task. And they both meet during a hike, and then they decide to spend the night together. But plot twist is that Diana is in the town to buy Emily's grandmother's inn, so it's kind of like a hallmarky type of plot where there's like the bad guy girl from the city and the small town girl guy who has a lot to lose if the plan of the bad girl guy happens. So yeah, that's the kind of plot. So now they both have to decide if they want to be in love or in a relationship, or if they want to save their career, because Diana needs to buy the inn to become CEO, but if she buys the inn, she loses Emily's relationship and love. So yeah, that's the kind of story. The second one I have to talk about, and I forgot to say, I'm alternating between the two, so one will be contemporary romantasy, then one contemporary, like that. You get it. So the second one I have to talk about is Hunger, Soft and Wild by Moira Darling. I also have to say that it's quite difficult to find Sapphic romantasies where it's not about just vampires, and 2 of the 5 romantasy I'm gonna talk about today, there's a vampire in the story, but there's so much more. But I find it like quite, not fascinating, but intriguing that most of the time romantasies are about Sapphic vampires. But yeah. So in this one you follow Arya, who's a vampire, and she lived under her clan's rule most of her life, and they see like mercy as weakness, and it's quite a brutal clan. So she decides to escape, but now she's being hunted, and at some point she stumbles upon a mercenary, and it's Ron, which is the second main character. So she's a mercenary, and she decides to save and protect Arya, but of course they fall in love. And apparently it's a slow burn, torture, and you die, and one bed trope kind of romantasy, which are the tropes I enjoy when I'm reading a straight romantasy. So I hope it will be the same, and I will also enjoy and maybe love this story. The second contemporary I'm gonna talk about is Not Just Gal Pals by Luly, and it's the first in the Sapphire Springs series, so each book you have a Sapphic story, and this one is classified as a fall rom-com, and you follow Jenny, who's an influencer, but she has never... It was quite an accident to become an influencer, and she gets almost cancelled, so to wait for the storm to pass, she decides to stay in her hometown. And we also follow Blake, who's the town's doctor, and she had a crush on Jenny since high school, and they have to team up to plan a friend's bachelorette party, but Jenny, the influencer, is coming back to LA soon, so is a relationship worth it? Is there a point to have a relationship between the two of them, since they're both gonna live far apart, and it's gonna be like long distance relationship? So that's the plot of the first book. The second book is the summer romance, and it's boss-employee kind of romance with a cafe. And the third book is enemies to lovers, fake dating rom-com. So I'm not gonna... If I like the first one, I'm probably gonna read the second one, but not the third one, because I hate fake dating, so yeah. But if you like it, maybe look into it. The second romantasy I'm gonna talk about is Risking Immortality by Alyson. So you follow Amelia, who's a vampire, and humans hate vampires, and her family builds an empire with nightclubs and bars, and she turns 30 soon, and if she doesn't find her soulmate, by then she risks going mad, and so it's quite like a magical bond they can have. So she risks going mad and her family killing her to end her suffering. So when she's at one of the clubs and bar of her family, she meets Erin, who's a bartender and a human. So can the bond happen between a human and a vampire? And can she, Amelia, share the secrets of her family with Erin? And the thing is, vampires are born and not made, so it would be quite difficult between the two of them, since Erin will be dead sooner than Amelia. The fifth book I'm gonna talk about is Tempting Olivia by Clare Ashton. It's the second in the Oxford Romance series. First of all, I love the covers of this series. It's illustrated by Lenny Kaufman, which is one of my favorite illustrators. So it's the second one, and I chose this one because I like the plot best. So in this one you follow Ophelia, which is the youngest partner in a law firm, and she expects a lot from everybody, and the only way she can relax, or the only like frivolity she accepts for herself, is to eat desserts and to watch certain rom-coms with a specific actress. But what she doesn't expect is that this actress is going to be one of her clients, because she's going through a divorce, and so she hires Olivia to represent her. So now Olivia needs to handle the case like professionally, even though she loves the actress. So they fall in love, of course, and I'm really excited to read this one. And the first book in this series is A Friend to Strangers to Friends to Lovers. So yeah, between students who are in Oxford, and then yeah, life. And the third one, you follow Olivia's mother, which is quite cool to follow older women or older people romance. And also you follow a lawyer, which is the mother of the one of the main characters in the first book. And it's like enemies to lovers, but they have like close proximity because they know each other from the years past. So yeah, if I like the second one, I will read the first one and the third one. But yeah, I'm excited, and again, love the covers. The third romantasy I'm going to talk about is A Game of Hearts and Heists. It's quite pleasant to say those words, but it's not that easy. Hearts and Heists by Ruby Ho. And you follow two enemies. You follow Scarlett, who's a disgraced assassin, and Quinn, who's a medic turned poisoner. And for years they have sabotaged the mission of each other. And they stole from each other, and they even slept together. But now the Queen makes a deal, and they have to team up for this deal. But for this heist, they'll have to trust each other, but they each have secrets, a lot of secrets, that could betray their loved ones. So I think it's gonna be quite an angsty romance. The fourth contemporary romance I'm going to talk about is Hot Summer by Elle, Everhart, and you follow Cass and Ada, and they are both on a reality TV like Love Island type show. And Cass didn't really want to go on the show, but her company teamed up with the production company of the show, so they decided to send her there, and she didn't really have a choice to be a contestant there. But by doing that, she hopes to get a promotion, which I think is really weird. It's like not blackmailing, but kind of blackmailing. But yeah, I find this this premise pretty weird. And Ada is on the show because she really hopes to find a connection and to find her person, a genuine relationship on this show. But Cass doesn't think that she could be the one to give her, Ada, what she wants. But they have a real connection, so now Cass needs to decide if she wants to follow her heart or not. So we will see. The second to last romantasy I'm gonna talk about is The Curse of the Goddess by González. And in this one you follow Princess Valda Aether, and an oracle foretold that she would find her soulmate when she turned 25, like the day she turned 25. They would lock eyes and they would find each other, and that's gonna be their soulmate. But the thing is, she lost her sight during the day, so she's unable to lock eyes with anybody since she's now blind. So now she's appointed an assistant to heal and to adapt to her new reality, and this assistant is Maris. She's also a refugee from another kingdom that Valda's father destroyed, like he destroyed her family. I don't know why. I will find out when I read the book. But whilst falling in love, Maris wants to find out why her family was destroyed, and now that she's close to the princess, she hopes she can find some answers from the king. So yeah, I'm really excited to this one, and I find this plot very original, so yeah, I'm excited. And now, the last contemporary I'm gonna talk about is completely out of season because it's a Christmas romance. And it's Sleigh Bells Ring by Alyson Root. So yeah, it's a Christmas story, and Nicole comes back each year to our town for like a month during the holidays, but every year she's single just before Christmas. Like, she's in a relationship, but every time just before Christmas she becomes single. So yeah, she's kind of defeated by her fate. And we also follow Nive, who was her little brother friend, and if I remember correctly, her brother has like disability, but I don't remember if it's a physical disability or a mental disability. But again, I will find out when I read the book. So Nive comes back to the town after a few years away. A decade away actually. And Nive and Nicole start to form a bond and a connection, but Nicole is scared that it's just gonna be for the holidays and it's gonna stop before or just after Christmas. She's quite scared to put like her heart on a line again, but they're gonna fall in love. It's gonna work out, but I'm excited to read this one. And then the last book in this video is With Wing and Claw by Lisette Marshall. It's the 5th book of a series, but it's like a standalone romantasy. I have the first one on my TBR also, but you can read them separately. Just gonna be a bit spoiled of the other story and plot lines. And in this one you follow Tysandra, who lives in an empire that's been recently overthrown by rebels, and unbeknownst to her, she was one of the reasons that the empire could be overthrown, but she was serving in the army there. So she feels quite a lot of guilt about that, because she has been used as a political pawn by the rebels, and she was used by Anaxia, who was her longtime demon nemesis and romantic obsession. So it's like enemies to lovers. And now Tysandra has been named the High Lady of the court she betrayed. And she has to restore order at the court, but there's still like violence between the Fays and the humans. And there's also a sentient mountain, and Anaxia is back also at court, and Tysandra doesn't really know why, and she doesn't trust Anaxia because she hurts her a lot. And she's also killing people. And she also claimed that Tysandra is madly in love with her, but at some point there's like a big threat for the empire and for the court, and so they have to team up reluctantly to contain the threats. So yeah, with this book concludes the video. I hope you found some new Sapphic books to add to your TBR. I'm quite excited to read all of them, otherwise I wouldn't have talked about them. But yeah, in May it was the Pride in Belgium. It was a few weekends ago that there was like the Pride parade in Brussels. So that's why I wanted to do this video now, like at the end of May, but still in May. But yeah, I hope you found some new books to read, and that's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!